Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jerry Sansing with another edition of South Texas News and Reviews. It's July 22nd, 2018, and I'm going to go ahead and film this, and then I'm going to take a trip over to Del Mar College. So I'll be right back and open up the show, and then I'll resume when I get back to the studio. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the Coles building, room 124. This is a large room for large classes. It'll hold probably 90, 100 people. But this is a seating arrangement that we've got. And then if I pan around just a little bit, then what you can see is that these things start missing. And then they put these chairs in here. And then if you'll take a look down here, the bolting is coming off the bottom of the table side here. Okay, and you can see, I'm going to pan out a little bit so you can see, or let me see, there we go. Alright, I'm going to try it one more time. I'm just going to show you how large this room is. I know it shakes a little bit, my tripod's not the most stable. And then we have the professors up here in the front, and the screen pops down. The lighting's not real good here, but I'm going to go over there by that desk and show you another little trick. Okay, so I'll be right back. Well, I may as well just move it like this. I think I can film it, and then I'll zero in. But we have all these cables and stuff coming out of the floor. It's a trip hazard. So when I'm up there trying to teach, then I've got to be careful of what I do, and I don't know what kind of a engineer did this. And then there's stuff loose all over the place, that molting up under the tabletops and stuff. But this is what we have to contend with at Del Mar College. And now we're going to build $45 million more worth of buildings here on East Campus so that we can ignore them too. But you can tell that there's several of these chairs that are interspaced around the room. Anyway, this is disgusting. It drives me nuts. I'm going to go up to the room just above this. I teach up there too. And it's the same old crap, just different day. I'll be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a floor up. This is room 227 in the Coles building. Now, when one of these chairs gets shaky, then what I do is I ask the students to please let me know, and maybe we can get them fixed. But if you'll take a look at this, with that red back there, what they do is they tell people that can't fix them to come over here and put the caution tape up. So you can see several of those here. Now you can also see where the chairs have fallen off, and if you look at these two right here, then those are just freestanding chairs where these kind of orange back when orange had disappeared. And then there's another one over there that's fallen off, and then I'm going to walk back up there. I see some more of the caution tape up there. And then I'll just back off just a hair, and I'll show you how much fun it is to try to teach with that mess coming out of the floor. Okay? And it's damn near impossible. So, you know, Del Mar really doesn't care. All we want to do is build more buildings that we can't take care of. And, you know, what can I say? I'm going to go up to the back, and I think there's some chairs actually missing up there and some more that are taped off with the caution tape. Anyway, welcome to Del Mar. This is your tax money, and I'll be right back. Here we go. We've got more caution tape on this one. And as you look around this room, lighting's not the best in the world, although it probably comes through all right here. And like I say, that chair is completely missing. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and rope this stuff off. And, you know, it's a mess, folks. But, you know, why can't we go ahead and fix things over here? You know, it's Del Mar College, and I call it the Deferred Maintenance College, DM, okay? So, that, you know, this is a crime, and I'm paying for this as a taxpayer, and we're going to tear down small buildings and build bigger ones that we can't take care of, and we've been flatlined with the enrollment on these campuses, the 3 that we've got now since 1992. So you go figure. I wish you'd call your Board of Regents member, or maybe even call the president over here at the college and ask him what's going on. And then they're going to tear down and get rid of all the books out of the library. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. Anyway, I'll be right back with you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think the wind will cut me out too bad, but this is new construction. This is one of the bonds from, I think it was 2014. It was only about $159 million to put up this kind of stuff over here. We've got classrooms empty most of the time, and but what we want to do is spend a bunch of tax money, and I was totally against it. And you people went for the bond for this, and now there's another one for 2016 for $139 million, so we can build a new campus out on Rod Field in Yorktown and out there in that swampland. And they say, well, it doesn't flood, but I've got pictures, I've shown you those, and it does flood like the dickens out there. But I'm just going to pan around and see all of this new space that we're going to be unable to take care of. Okay? I can guarantee you that. And then I'm going to talk about this building right to my right here. This is the library, the white library, and this is the one, the 5-story building that they're going to start taking all the books out of and putting in just a few computers. And I think the president was quoted as saying that Hispanics don't read, therefore we can go ahead and do away with the books and just come on back here and you know, we can do everything electronically. And then, as I said, probably my bet is that this registration coming up here within the next month, that the whole computer system will go down again. It's very, very famous for that. So we can't take care of computers, so we're going to go to nothing but computerized library. And it's crazy, folks. Absolute insanity. So call your regent and call the administration at Del Mar College. It's bloated enough. You can find people all over the place that are administrators. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye for the short run, and I'll be right back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is more tripe out here, and blatant lies, as I say. I've asked for the information that went into that trademark intro sort up there on many occasions and can't get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back off a little bit, and what we do is we go out and put this stuff out and supposedly win all kinds of awards, and then we put all this garbage up. So this whole floor down here is full of all these nonsensical things, and this is the one I asked for all the research notes, and I wanted to see the trademark application and everything else, and I was told by Del Mar College that there were no documents responsive to my request, and that this is strictly theoretical. Okay? So they've got actual photographs up there of supposedly work that they've done. So this is a blatant lie. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that to these fine folks. They have the grants here. They don't even have copies of the grants, they say. And they're sitting here advertising it's USDA, which is your tax money, and the National Science Foundation and the ACC and so forth and so on. So, you know, I don't know how much longer we can take all this blather, and BS is bovine excrement is what it is. Anyway, I shall return. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from my little foray over there, my little trip to Del Mar College to show you fine taxpayers what's happening over there. So I guess it's time for me to go ahead and bite the bullet and talk about it. So this is South Texas News and Reviews, and it airs at 9 o'clock on Tuesday evenings and 9 o'clock on Wednesday on Channel 6. You can also go into YouTube and put in Jerry, Jerry, Sansing, and pull these shows up and watch them on YouTube. So what I'm going to do this evening is just have some chats about what I filmed over there. Now, I am completely and totally concerned about my legal standing and well-being when I have to invite students into a lecture hall that has seats that are not being maintained whatsoever. I showed you those, okay? I've had those seats fall off. They get so rattled over there that people will take them off. To my knowledge, I don't know that anyone's broken their back yet, but it's just a matter of time. Now, if that happens and it's my class and I have 48 people in there maximum, maybe 50 at times if I overload a class, then I'm in great peril with Thomas J. Henry and Greg Herman and the Wrights and everybody else, and this other all nines guy that says now that if you've got personal injury, then call me and I'll take care of it. Now, why would Del Mar College want to put me in jeopardy at that level of having a lawsuit that's perpetrated against me because of their screw-ups? Okay, so I'm going to address that this evening. Now, I'm going to start also by saying that this is old Pinocchio. You know that Disney character, and Jiminy Cricket standing there giving him hell for lying through his teeth, and his nose is growing. And I think everybody knows the Pinocchio story. Well, that's the story of our local elected officials, unfortunately. Okay, and many of the Del Mar College administrators. Now, I want to go ahead and say these beautiful yellow flowers, they're dedicated to my deceased wife, Miss Lynn, and my mother, bless her heart, Miss Connie, and a person that I care a great deal about these days and want her to succeed in life and get through with her studies, and that's Miss April 23. So I hope they appreciate that. No, I guess not appreciate it. I just hope that they know that I think about them consistently. I was brought up in a family where my dad, who was a headstrong Texan, he was one of the most highly decorated fighter pilots in World War II, Korea and Vietnam. He got his butt shot down and was taken in by the French underground during World War II. He was shooting up a rail, which he had volunteered to go do. He should have been in the officers' club drinking his scotch at the time, but he decided he'd go help shoot up a German munitions train that had pulled into a certain portion of France at a certain railhead. So he was shot down. He had to jump out of a tree and pull his parachute out of the tree. He hit the ground, black in both eyes, and the lady that was screaming at him to get the hell out of there and told him that he had just landed in a German munitions dump of all places, and they were looking for him. They knew they had hit him and shot him down. So anyway, he spent many, many days there, 70, 80, 90, I can't get a definite count, shooting Germans as they retreated through France. And then the invasion army, liberation army got him, and he came home. And he was packing up in California, getting ready to go fly in the Pacific when that war with Japan was called off. And then, like I say, he stayed in. He flew Vietnam and Korea. And he flew 350 missions in Vietnam. Okay? So he was a very, very highly regarded, and I loved him very much, as well as my mother. She's the one that suffered the most, not knowing where he was and, whether he was shot up and dead or whatever. But he told me that there's nothing in this world any more precious than a woman, and I've said this on the air, and I wholeheartedly believe that. So Miss Connie, my mom, Miss Lynn, my deceased wife, and April 23, a dear friend of mine who's destined for greatness here in the aeronautical engineering business, then, I love y'all. Now, what galls me are the lies that are told about everything as far as the ADA compliance, the Americans with Disabilities. That's Miles Risley. He says that, there's nothing to that the city doesn't have to do anything about it. The Department of Justice, after 3 or 4 or 5 contacts, says that they, I can't do much about it, unfortunately, because, they're too busy taking care of other business than to take care of our fine citizens around here and many of our veterans that are disabled and so forth and so on. So I don't know. It just seems to be, a snowball here.
And then we've got Del Mar College, and you know, they lie every second over there with a lot of those Board of Regents members, and particularly that extremely bloated administration we've got. You're paying a president over $300,000 a year to just sit there and let the whole maintenance go to hell over there. And, you know, all he wants to do is suck up to the privileged few over there and go out and get a free meal every once in a while and take care of his $300,000 a month or a year. I've been there 29 years now, and I don't make near that much money, and I get things done. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. Now we've got deferred maintenance supreme. Like I say, I filmed some of my classrooms over there. The chairs are going to fall off. Somebody's going to fall out, break a bit in the neck, or bump their head real bad, and so forth and so on, and be injured. And who's going to be the first one they're going to blame? It's going to be me, because I'm conducting that class. So I'm making it quite clear right now with testimony and so forth that I don't think you need to do that, folks. I wouldn't press me too hard. And, you know, I'm going to come back with a vengeance if that happens. And I've seen it happen to other professors over there. Dr. Bruce Olson is a classic example. That is a tragedy that's happened over there. And then we've got Dr. Janelle Bennett, who was drummed out of the Corps because of snotty whining three you know, nursing students. And then if you go up to Coastal Bend College, you've got one of the finest PhD nurses up there, Eloisa Garcia, that was run out, and now up there in Beeville, sunny Beeville, Coastal Bend College, we've got one of the worst people that I've ever seen in my life and observed as the president up there, Beatrice Espinosa, and she's sitting there with that smirk on her face and has ruined an awful lot of fine people up there and has run that college into the dirt. And then we have people here at Del Mar College that are doing the same thing. My department chair is one of them. You know, he's just so enamored and with the privileged few, and our you know, he doesn't give a damn about education, although he says he does. But you know, I give up on him, and one of these days we're going to have a comeuppance with that. And you know, he won't hold biology faculty meetings, and he does with the chemistry group. He is a PhD chemist, and he doesn't give a damn about the rest of the department, whether it be geology, physics, or biology. So he's got his favorites there. He's scared to death of the dean, and I'm just going to put it out there succinctly and the way it is. So if somebody wants to go ahead and lock me out like they did Dr. Bruce Olson, then have at it. And then we've got that deferred maintenance over there, and then they won't fix the chairs in my lecture room, so I don't get my ass sued off if somebody takes a spill up there and breaks their neck or back, or you know, hits their head and is demented or whatever. I'm at the mercy of a bunch of idiots over there at Del Mar College. And not only are they idiots, they're not concerned about anything. Okay. Now, then I want to get into, we have got a new District 4 Board of Regents member, Dr. Mary Sherwood. I'm in District 4, so she is my new regent. They badgered Dr. Guy Watts to the point where he just threw his hands up and said no mas with this, because he wanted an academic excellence at Del Mar College. That's not the goal of the administration of Del Mar College, folks, and you need to address that with the president over there, Dr. Mark Escamilla, and then some board members like Regent Mr. Trey McCampbell, and then you've got some people that are just there for the free ride, and I need to get rid of them. So what I've done is this t-shirt has this logo on the front. We've got 3 regents up for re-election as we speak. I want all 3 of those people dumped by you people that are fine voters out there. and who really care about education, because the three that are up for re-election here don't give a damn. So anyway, but welcome, Dr. Mary Sherwood. I hope that you will not fall into the pit over there known as the Del Mar College Board of Regents. You need to, and if you have the credentials, apparently, it says here, for district, and your term is going to expire in 2020, so we'll see how well you do by then, but 2018 is going to be a comeuppance here for three of them over there, and I hope all three of them that are up for re-election are voted out. So, Dr. Sherwood, with your background, I hope that you're not going to just sit over there and be sucked in by Trey McCampbell and some of these other morons over there that we have for the Board of Regents members. They're spending money like a bunch of drunken sailors and so forth and so on. All right, now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this step by step. We have Todd Hunter. He says the benefits of summer reading. I equated that on the other show, what's happening in Corpus Christi, when he says that the students need to go over there and read during the summer to keep their skills up. Otherwise, they're going to lose them. Okay. Now, what I've got is I have a message here from a person, and it was to Alex Fulton, Regional Director, Office of the Governor. And I'm just going to read this. The Corpus Christi Caller-Times has reported a $2 million shortfall at Del Mar College, which is real. Despite reports, the shortfall remains. No real reason for the shortfall is given, except its poor planning. See, what we were doing is we wanted to get all this money together so that we were going to have a 5% increase in students this past fall. It didn't happen. It was a minus number, and we blame that on the hurricane. Okay, and then for the spring, I don't know. They blame that, I guess, on elephant hemorrhoids in Afghanistan or some damn thing. Okay, and we blame everything on everything except we can't keep students over there. Okay, no real reason for the shortfall is given. Of course not. They're not going to explain that. One explanation is administrative pay is too high and administrative positions are too many. It's called bloated administration over there, folks. Administrative bloat. One explanation is administrative pay is too high and administrative positions are too many. We've got far too many people over there that are administrators, folks, and all they're designed to do is to go over there and make life miserable for faculty and beat them down so that we can get rid of people like the best nursing professor I've ever met in my life, Dr. Janelle Bennett, and so forth and so on. And we got too damn many people over there. When you start bloating in administration, it goes to hell, folks. Departmental dictatorships are too many. Pay is too high. Well, I don't talk to my department chair, okay, departmental dictator, and all he is interested in is covering the butt of a couple of privileged people over there that the dean loves so much. Okay? So what they're going to do is, it says, to make up the $2 million shortfall, and beginning this autumn, the William F. White Library will cut hours of operation drastically. This is in preparation for the full closure of the library scheduled for 2020. The president of the college has said, and I've got the person who quoted this, okay, and apparently I can prove that. If it comes to court case, then I'm going to put that person right up there and say, but it says Hispanics don't read. This is from Dr. Mark Escamilla, who's our college president, and this happened in 2006 from what I understand. Listen, let me reiterate that Hispanics don't read, therefore we don't need a library. Okay, we could go electronic. Well, our electronics over there is the scum of the earth, folks. That's the worst system that's ever happened. We had the, vice president now of all things holy over there, and he was the person in charge of the IT, the informational technology, which is our computer system, and he's a BBA. He doesn't know the stuff from Shinola, and we put him in charge over there because he talks a good game. Okay, so now what we're doing is we've got this new librarian director. Okay, I'm not going to put his name, and he's hired specifically to clear the building of library materials and make ready other services. And then we've got the head of reference services and the head of the library technical services are supervising throwouts and eventually closure. I mean, there are some classic documents over there, books, so to speak, and they're just going to throw them out. And then we can go online, and then we'll have our whole IT, the informational technology, when we start into the relying on that for registration, it's going to crater again. It fails every year. And then we've got, a provost over there that was essentially fired from College of the Mainland up there, and we hire her on as not the president anymore, but the provost and vice president of academic affairs. And I have not heard a single person at Del Mar College, particularly faculty, that says that they appreciate her. She's uppity, she's egotistical, and so forth and so on. And that's the way I perceived her. Okay, I'm not going to name names. Okay, so what we need to do is insist that the regular hours exist, and we don't shut that whole library down just because Hispanics don't read. I mean, give me a break, folks. You know, I know a lot of Hispanic students. I've got some great ones. I've got Asian, I've got Indian, I've got, all types of students over there from every corner of the universe, and they're great, great students. And yeah, they want to read. They want to be able to go to the library and pull the hard copy out and sit and read it. They don't need to be tinkering around over there with some damn computer system that's going to fail. Okay? So I've also confirmed this. It says a very serious quote regarding the conversion of library materials to all electronic. The conversation comes from the period after Figueroa and before Lewis. Okay? That's a person over there that was put in as the acting or interim vice president of instruction. I'm not going to name names, okay? I don't need to do that. Okay, and it says a faculty member reported the quote from an interim provost. The time period was in the summer of 2016. The quote is from the highest authority possible. The quote is well known among library administrative staff, all of whom, predictably, will deny the quote. Ask the library remain open. And so I'm going to do that, folks. Would you go ahead and contact your Board of Regents member? You've got 3 at large, and then you've got a district. And, go over there and raise hell with them. Just tell them this is unacceptable. And then we've got, CCISD enrollments are down. Our enrollments are down from DMC, okay? We've got the GED program is gone from Del Mar College. I still haven't had an explanation for that, but I'm going to press it, okay? And then we did not run any more classes this summer because we didn't have the money to do it. We're cash poor, okay? And all we're trying to do now is hire nothing but adjuncts, which is about 1/3 of a normal pay for a tenure-track faculty member. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give away a bunch of my classes to some people that are totally inferior and wouldn't know how to spell microbiology. And we've got one of them claiming to be a award-winning microbiologist. Now all of my classes are full, and then we've got gaping holes in the others that are over there that are going to be for fall. So I don't know. I've got a person that I have no respect for that is a department chair of mine, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to insist. Now, as a faculty member, I've got students that evaluate me all the time. Now, when a student can plunk down a bachelor's degree with double majors, chemistry and biology, a master's degree with double majors, biochemistry and microbiology, a PhD in microbiology and biochemistry, and then years of experience in industrial research and other research in medical schools and so forth and so on, then I'll listen to them. But when I have these whiny, not all of them, folks, a few whiny students over there that don't want to study, they just want a free ride, and they think that their mom and dad can go over there and rattle the legal crap in front of Del Mar College, and Del Mar College is as weak-kneed as CCISD, then they don't want a lawsuit, and they don't want to have anything on the news as bad news for them, so they crater. But when any student can come up and put their credentials next to mine and they match, then I'll argue with them. Otherwise, then if you don't want to take my class, then buzz off. I really don't care. Now, another thing that bugs me over there is, and I showed this to you today, is that trademark crap that's up there on the walls in the halls. Okay? Let's see, it's right here. I've got a picture of it somewhere. I think it's right. Yeah, here it is. All right. There we go. All right. Intro Sword, trademark. And then they've got pictures of culture dishes, and they've got pictures of zones of inhibition and all the rest of this stuff. And what I have done is I have asked several times through Public Information Act request for all the background information that will support this Intro Sword. Okay? And then we've got all these posters everywhere where we've got this great research things going. And then we've got Introduction to Biotechnology, okay? And we've got all this crap that's published over there, and these banners up everywhere. And then we've got the Comparing Traditional and C-Phage courses, which is nonsense. Another trademark, okay? Another trademark. So the list goes on and on. Now what I have done is I have asked for, on August 22nd, I wrote Dr. Escamilla about my confusion, but on July 31st, 2017, I get this thank you for your Texas Public Information Act request that was received by the college on July 17th, 2017. Now what I asked for, I said, Dr. Escamilla, he is the keeper of the records. He's pawned that off to some bozette over there that is the Public Information Act officer or whatever they call her right now. She's the one that thought it was real funny that we've got people calling people, the gas chamber over there and so forth and so on. I'll admit I am Jewish, and that pissed me off at very high level. Okay, Mr. Jerry Henry and Miss McDonald over there, Tammy McDonald. Through my rights under the Texas Publication Information Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 552, I am hereby requesting copies of any and all contracts, agreements, and or U.S. patent applications between Del Mar College and any other organization, business related to the numerous publications that Del Mar College students and faculty members have developed a life-saving spray Intro Sword. I would like to set a time and place at which I can review all of the research notes and documentations related to the development of the professed new product Intro Sword by students, faculty members, and staff of the Del Mar College over the past 5 years. I am also requesting a review time for all documents pertaining to any and all taxpayer-supported grants related to the research conducted by Del Mar College students and faculty members involved in the development of said Intro Sword. Now that's the one that they claim is right here. It's on the wall over there that is trademarked right here. Okay? And they've got pictures of all these culture plates and zones of inhibition and all the rest of that crap. Okay, now this was back in July 31st, 2017. I've consequently asked for that information again. It says, Mr. Sansing, thank you for your Texas Public Information Act request that was received by the college on July 17, 2017. The college has reviewed your Public Information Act request relating to a life-saving spray Enrosword and has determined that there are no documents responsive to your request. Enrosword was a theoretical concept submitted by students in a competition and is not a real product. So why in the hell have we got this stuff over there on walls that says it's a trademark product? That's a blatant lie, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what Delmar does. You know, unfortunately, we have a whole pack of liars over there, cheats and thieves that are that bloated, you know, and then we've got all these publications around here about how great it was that these students had developed this life-saving stuff and that we've got it trademarked, which is bovine excrement. Okay? Bovine is bull. If you want to go equine, there's a lot of that in there too. Equine excrement. And here it is, just publication after publication, and let's go ahead and everybody just go over there and lie and cheat and and steal and say that we've got this stuff that's trademarked, which is absolute nonsense. It's horse manure. What can I say? Then every time I ask for public information about why we spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a month for Graves, Daughtry, etc., the attorneys out of Austin that are looking at things over there, then all I get's a bunch of BS. Okay? So when I ask for that stuff, here I get certified return receipts. Now, I was chastised by the Graves Daughtry, said they didn't get this. I did not go over and pick up the certified return receipt information. All I can tell you, folks, is when I went over to my post office, they said that, hey, it's been changed over from Gulfway Center over there over to another post office, and they didn't know where it was, and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not taking the lumps for that one either. Okay? But what I've done is I've asked for information, and why are we billing, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month by this outfit when we have a supposedly in-house counsel? Why do we need these people up there? I know what it is. It's just a good friend of mine, Dr. Bruce Olson, had filed a lawsuit against these bozos and bozettes over there for locking him out. I do have the information that our president over there lied through his teeth when he told everybody that, he didn't know anything about that. And then we find out later through court records and so forth that, 30 days before he was locked out or something to that effect, then he signed the papers to have his lock changed. And now he's already won a lawsuit after 5 years and was awarded $644,000 plus $120,000 in legal fees by a jury. And the Delmar, in over a 5-year period of time, spent $300,000 during the different phases of the lawsuit. The original with this county court at 2 judge down here, who's enamored with Delmar College and our in-house counsel, a general counsel now, Mr. Augustin Rivera. I guess they're both Yale graduates, and they're tighter than ticks over here. And she's fought it too. But the jury said, pay the man, and he gets his job back. And maybe one of these days he'll get his 3 computers that were stolen and his manuscript and artwork and antique books over there out of his office, which have disappeared. And no one knows where they are. Now, what kind of crap is that, folks? That's Delmar College. They're going to be trying to strong-arm everybody. Well, I have asked in the past to be fired, and I had Dr. Rosie Garcia at one time, who was the acting VPI. I said, go ahead and dismiss me like you've done with Dr. Olson, and then you consequently after that did to Dr. Janelle Bennett. Bless her heart, she got railroaded and so forth and so on. and Dr. Mohammed Pasha, who's I think passed away here recently, and then several other people. Okay, and what do? They just say, well, sorry, sayonara. We're going to go on a witch hunt, and we're just going to go ahead and try to get rid of you people. But I asked to be fired. I said, terminate me. And what I get from this esteemed PhD nurse, who was the VPI at the time, is she said, well, Dr. Sansing, you can be fired, but you can't request to be fired. Now, can you tell me what the hell that means? And I'm going to keep pressing it, folks. I want to be fired. I'm right here. Would you write and call your Board of Regents member and say, fire that Sansing? He's over there raising hell on the TV about your shenanigans and your administrative bloat. And you publicly say that Hispanics don't read, so we're going to shut down a 5-story library. Because Hispanics don't read, and that's coming from a Hispanic president. I mean, what the hell is that all about, sir? Can you explain that to me? Would you come out in public and debate me on TV and let me know what that means? Okay. Now I'm going to get off on the city. Okay. Now I've got request after request after request from the Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division, and the Americans with Disability Act, and I want to go ahead and make sure and ask why we have an idiot down there, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Miles Risley, as the city attorney. And I've got it in writing right here when he was asked about that, and why aren't they complying with ADA, and he says, we don't have to. People that have disabilities, if they're in a walker, if they're on crutches, if they're in a wheelchair, if it's just a poor woman that's not disabled, but she's got 2 kids in a stroller, and she's trying to get down a sidewalk that has big palm trees in the middle of it, or a big light pole in the middle of it, then they can go into the street, or they can go into the parking lot of wherever that is and go around. We don't have to go ahead and conform to federal law, which is under the Department of Justice and the Civil Rights Division as the Americans with Disabilities Act. We don't have to do that. And then when I write the Department of Justice and those clowns and clownettes up there, they say, oh, well, we're too busy to have to do this. Well, if the moron down there, our city attorney, knows that they're too busy and won't do anything about it, then he's just going to blow it off, folks. He's the hero down there. And you think any of the city council people give a damn about whether somebody gets run over out there or not? Okay, I can't wait. Heaven help me, but I can't wait until somebody gets flattened out there in the street that's either on crutches or a walker, wheelchair, or a young woman with a stroller with a kid or 2 in there, and they get run over and killed. I mean, I don't want to pay for that. Okay? It's crazy. You're trolling for a massive lawsuit, and you're going to lose it. And then I've got a friend that has several rental properties, and he had a property out on Flower Bluff, and somebody threw some tires on the edge of his property, and that renter out there is now faced with this goddamn totally worthless code enforcement people, and they're going to haul him or her down into the what do they call it? Environmental court, which is one of the biggest scams and shams on the face of this earth. And then I go down different streets and I see grass that's above the top of my head, and nobody's taking care of that. They're out looking for people, old people, so they can bill the husband $2,500 and the wife $2,500, and then say, well, you can go over there to this city attorney and you can see how much money they want you to pay. I've been there, done that. My wife was extremely ill when I put the first sign out, and I had them printed up, no Chris Adler for mayor, And I didn't say that, I just said no Chris Adler and put my name and address on it. And the first day that I stuck that sign in my front yard, I had code enforcement breaking into my backyard, my fenced yard, and, haul my ass down there to court, along with my extremely ill wife at the time. And then they said after I took care of that I had some T-posts, those metal fence posts that you see holding political signs up, and I had this bozo from code enforcement that said, if we got a hurricane through here, that those things were going to go airborne and they're going to go act like missiles. So I asked it through Public Information Act where his degrees were and what his expertise was in aeronautical engineering, and could he prove what wind speed it takes to take a metal skinny fence post and make it go airborne. And that was the end of that discussion. But I had a horrible experience with that. My wife was most upset because she was very, very ill at the time, and she finally passed away after that. Thank you, code enforcement. I hope all of you go to hell in a handbasket. And, here you go. So city staff discusses problems with brush and bulky collection with Flower Bluff residents. This came from the Texas Shoreline News. It says serving Flower Bluff, North Padre, and Corpus Christi. And it's a free publication that comes out, I think it's bi-monthly. And this was the last one, July 20th, 2018. So, and I guess they're having problems out there in Flower Bluff. And I'm sure that's where my friend owns that house, and they wound up with somebody dumping tires in his renter's yard. So now they're after her and going to take her into environmental court. For what? Okay? And here's the problems. The citizens shared many of the problems encountered in the last pickup. Some of those given included the following. Trucks showed up almost a week early in some parts of Flower Bluff, which created confusion. Now, they publish when we're going to have to put the stuff out, and if you put it out too soon, they'll fine you. So you put it out when the trucks are supposed to be there, and they come a week early, and there's nothing there to pick up. I mean, good Lord, folks. Raise hell with the city council about that, okay? Especially if you're from Flower Bluff. And then here's another one. Multiple piles of debris around Flower Bluff are still sitting. Weeds are growing up around them, and illegal dumpsters continue to pile on. Okay, or dumpers, not dumpsters. Okay. Here's another one. The piles are reported, but the response time from the city is slow. One resident presented a list of 20 piles left behind that he personally reported to the city. Only 3 had been picked up. Note, other reports of tall grass, abandoned properties, and squatters were also made by residents. The city doesn't give a damn. All they want to do is haul you into $2,500 a piece, both the husband and the wife. That's $5,000. Take you down there to environmental court and screw you. Okay? All right? Just don't put sand in the Vaseline. All right. Some piles were not picked up because a single fence board was in the mix, but a sofa was picked up and thrown into the same truck as the brush. Oh, Lord. Okay. The tires were never picked up, even though citizens may set out up to 4 tires per household during bulky pickup. The recent rains have added to the problem since tires are perfect breeding grounds for mosquitoes. And then here's this guy, Miklachev, or whatever his name, explain how tires and other bulky items or brush could be dropped off at the dump. All we have to do is present a driver's license and show. Now, if you're paying for the purpose and for the for the trucks to come along and do this for you, so you don't have to pack all that crap up and drive all the way out to the dump, which is a nightmare, then I understand this Miklachek, or whatever his name is one that likes to fire people, and he's a basic a bully down there. I'm going to go down and meet him one of these days. But I mean, this was in the newspaper, folks. So go pick up go pick up a copy of the Texas Shoreline News. This new one, July 20th. It'll be out at a lot of different places around town. Or call me. I'll be glad to I'll drive over and give you a copy of it. Okay? But this is insane. This is total BS. And then what we have is we have the celebrating 28 years of ADA. And that was a letter to the editor on the 14th of July, and it says, you know, let's get out and do this, that, and the other. And I guess these people that are proponents of celebrating 28 years of ADA, they don't know what the hell's going over. This Linda Falwell Stover, Executive Director, Coastal Bend Center for Independent Living. I talked to those people the other day. They don't abide by ADA. The city doesn't at all. Okay? It's like Mr. Miles Risley says, you don't have to worry about that. These people that have got disabilities can go out into the busy streets and get run over, or they can go into various parking lots that are chaotic and, contain, as per Tarleton and Air Street, gasoline pumps 20 feet from there. Yeah, go over there and do that, folks. Go die. They don't give a shit. Pardon me, they don't give a crap. I shouldn't have said that. But I get rather perturbed with this. And then we've got the Caller Times, and I don't know who the Wallet Hub is, Corpus Christi, second best city for driving. If that's not the biggest pile of bovine excrement I've ever heard, along with the equine and ovine and whatever else you want to put in there, then that's garbage, folks. This is not a good place to drive. It's a nightmare. And then if you Public Information Act, okay, I've gone over that. Ken Paxton, I'm going to go up to Austin and have a sit down with him one day, and I may take a bottle of wild turkey up there and inform him as to what's going on in Corpus Christi, Texas. This is a third, fourth world country. Then we have people who are concerned about the parks and recreation tennis center revenues, and here's the city auditor's report. Office of Kimberly L. Houston, interim city auditor, May 21st, 2018. And here's what it says, folks. This is an audit about the people scamming money from the city with the tennis centers. In accordance with the FY 217 annual audit plan, we concluded an audit of the parks and recreation parks. Okay, tennis centers of the city of Corpus Christi. The original focus of this audit is on all parks revenue. However, due to a high interest from city council and the local community on tennis center operations, this area was reviewed separately. Not received. Okay. Now, I don't think that the city council members give a tinker's damn about this. Okay, that's just fluff. This is because people were raising hell about it. Audit objective: are sufficient controls in place for revenue collections at tennis centers? Audit conclusion: although controls are in place over revenue collections at tennis centers, they are not adhered to. There you go, folks. Contract performance reviews are not conducted to ensure contract compliance. Tennis revenue is reported untimely and inaccurately. Approved tennis fees are not consistently charged, and revenue records are incomplete. We recommend opportunities for improvement in these areas, plus a couple of other matters. Okay. Parks Management agrees with this report. See management's responses following each issue. Management's response can be seen in its entirety in Appendix B. So I would ask if you'd go ahead and call the city auditors down there and get a copy of this. It's going to curl your hair. Okay? We have carefully reviewed the issues presented in the audit report referenced above and our plans to correct the issues are described on the following pages. Okay, and those they didn't have following pages on that. So we've got people down there bleeding the city for money using the tennis courts. God. What a city, okay? And then I could go on for Delmar for hours and hours, folks. And I checked yesterday at that little kiosk with the Foghorn, which is the Delmar College publication. The Foghorn, it says that, you know, with all that pornography, that certain issue from a while back in May and so forth and so on, and there's still copies of that sitting out there in public waiting for the children and residents of the area of Delmar College East so they can go over there and pull one of those papers out and see pornography. And I'm not going to take them out, and I don't think that Dr. Mark Escamilla really gives a tinker's damn whether that stuff's over there or not. Maybe we should take it to his two sons and see what he thinks about them looking at pornography and what is reported to be a Delmar College publication. But then they say, with these 19-year-old moron pervert that wrote all that stuff and had it illustrated, that it's not Delmar College, that the Foghorn is associated from that, and they are reporters. They don't have anything to do with Delmar College, except that Delmar College provides them with the space and the computers and pays for all that publication of that crap they've got. Okay? So I can't say enough about that. So I'm winding down. I know I've been on a tear. I'm sorry for using one profane term in this program, but you know, I do get a little bit perturbed when I see that Delmar College is headed for the sewer, and I'm not the first one. No, I am the first one that instituted the fact that Delmar College was sinking into academic mediocrity. They got all over Dr. Guy Watts for saying that in public, and I guess he figured out that I knew what I was talking about after, I can't believe it, I'll be here 29 years next month. And, you know, then I've got a department chair who is hell-bent on protecting the people that don't know what the hell they're doing about teaching classes. And we've got this false award-winning microbiologist, okay, the Creighton Award, which nobody's heard of outside of the English department at Delmar College. And then we got all that crap I showed you on the thing about trademark, those lies and so forth and so on. So I don't know what to tell you, folks. You just need to jump on the bandwagon and join me and start raising hell with the people over there. I do drink cranberry juice, by the way, and this is distilled water. So anyway, you know, what can I say? I'm going to go turn the camera off and show you these beautiful roses that are dedicated to Miss Connie, my mother, Miss Lynn, my deceased wife, and a very dear friend of mine, Miss April 23, and wish her all the best in her quest for aeronautical engineering degree. Okay, here are the beautiful yellow roses, like I say, dedicated to 3 women in my life. And I'm just going to let this go out. Please email me at gsansing@gmail.com and let me know what's going on in your life. And, you know, if you've got anything to say about city, state, county, Delmar College, CCISD, please let me know. So I'm going to let this go ahead and play out and enjoy those beautiful yellow roses.